The most difficult part about retirement planning that no one wants to talk about is developing a budget. No, I'm not calling you a baby. I'm not calling you undisciplined. I'm not trying to ruin your day. But you have to understand how much you're spending now while you're earning an income and how much you're going to need to spend in retirement when you're living off of your assets. That's what we're going to talk about today over the next 5 minutes. And as always, I don't know why this works, but it does. Me pleading and begging for you to like and subscribe this video. Especially subscribe. There's going to be more video like this coming. I got a great new editor. Things are getting a lot better over here. The channel is growing. Thanks for your support. Now let's continue to something you don't like to talk about, the budget. Retirement planning has a lot of moving pieces, and developing the budget is the most important piece. Let me give you an example. Let's say you get to retirement and you're used to spending $100,000. And you come to a person like me, a retirement planner, that's going to help with your spending. And you want to spend $100,000 and you've been spending that pretty freely. And I say, hey, you're only going to be able to spend 80. That's going to be a shock to you to have some knucklehead like me come out of left field and tell you that you can't spend as much as you used to be spending. So to avoid that bad news, why don't you get a good handle on what you spend now and what you're going to spend tomorrow when you retire? So here's what you need to do. First thing, you need to go and look at your credit card statement or your debit card statement. And you need to just segment out every single solitary expense. It's as simple as I can make it. Start with the biggest expenses first. Your housing expense or your mortgage, taxes, insurance, however you want to break it down. Then maybe if you have cars, then your food expense, then your travel expense, any other utilities, maintenance, cell phones, TVs, all the stuff. Break it all down. Even expenses that you don't think about. Things that you may not think about are contributions to your 401k because that reduces down your paycheck. What about any other medical expenses? Any other deductions from your gross income that come out of your paycheck for anything employer related? Segment out everything. This should only take you maybe an hour or two. This should not be a long project. This should be very simple. Just look at the statements, look at your pay stub, find where everything is going and break it all down. Then here's what I want you to do. That column with everything broken down, title it current. Then I want you to make a column that says future. And I want you to go from every single line item to, will I have this expense when I retire? And something really interesting is going to happen. You're going to notice that not all the same expenses are going to be there. What you may also notice is that, holy cow, this is a lot of spending. I'm not going to be able to handle this in retirement based on my asset base. If you don't know what that asset base is, or if you have enough, that's really need to reach out to a person like me, a retirement planner that can help build how much you need for retirement. But that's a different story. What may also happen when you're comparing those lists is in retirement, you may think of some other expenses, maybe your IRMA surcharges or any other medical expenses. There could be things that drop off and there could be some things that pick up, but usually not likely. Financial advisors like to use a rule of thumb, 80% is the estimate. So say you're spending $100,000 a year and maybe in retirement you only need 80. You're not paying as much in taxes. You're not paying much in 401k contributions. So you only need a certain amount of money from your investments, maybe 80% of what you normally need now to meet the same lifestyle. But you need to know that answer before you can really get a realistic view of retirement. Here's why not knowing is bad, and it could be catastrophic. Longevity risk. Longevity risk is the risk that you outlive your money. People are living longer. If you're living to the age of 65, statistically, you're going to have a very high probability of living to age 85 or longer. Some people could be living into their 90s. If you don't have a handle on your budget, you could be spending too much of your assets and not have enough money later on where you're really going to need people to help you. The second thing is emotionally. If you don't practice your budget and prepare early, you are going to be really, really shocked that could lead to anxiety, depression, or whatever feelings of remorse that you have for not preparing more because you don't have enough accumulated for the lifestyle that you've created. If you really want to get specific on what this looks like, financial advisors like me, we can help navigate this. What if you have a mortgage that's going to drop off? So maybe you just got to withdraw a little bit more early. We haven't even talked about the income that's coming in. What if Social Security kicks in? When does it kick in? What if you need bridge income? When does Medicare kick in? What other expenses are you going to need? What about long-term care? So there's a lot of other things that happen incrementally throughout retirement that need to be sifted through. But I cannot stress enough the value and importance and necessity of creating a budget. Take the time. I know you don't want to. I know it hurts. I know we don't like restriction in this day and age. No one tells you how to spend your own money, but I'm just telling you, you're an adult and you're going to be a retiree sometime soon. Having a handle on where your money goes is going to make for a better, happier, safer, and more productive retirement. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time. Please make sure to like and subscribe. See ya.